Hi there. This week's report looks at investment sentiment in UK equities. Now, especially given the fact that we have the Scottish referendum upcoming and the polls have been tightening, so it shows you that Scotland's increasingly warming up to the idea of potentially being independent. And so with that in mind, we want to see how our investors reacting in UK equities given that news. So if we look at average shorting activity in the FTSE 350, what we can see is actually it's been relatively flat over the last 4 weeks. Now, it's gone up over the last few months, but despite the pulse tightening in the last month, we've not really seen much in the way of increased shorting activity. Now, another interesting thing is if we just focus on the companies that are located in Scotland, we could find that actually short covering has continued to go down over the last 4 weeks. And so this is definitely an interesting trend. Now, this is mostly led by heavily shorted companies continue to see covering in the last few months and even in the last 4 weeks. So the key name here is Weir Group. Used to top most heavily shorted list a couple of years ago, but it's since turned itself around. And what we can see is the share price has performed very strongly, and shorts have retreated out of that name as well. Now, another couple of names we're looking at as well are Aberdeen Asset Management and Agreco, both of whom haven't seen much in the way of increased short selling in the run-up to the referendum. Now, another interesting data point that we want to look at is options volatility. So are investors forecasting more volatility in the coming weeks, given the fact that the referendum polls have been tightening? And if we can look at 90-day at-the-money implied options volatility for FTSE 100 options, what we can see is that they've actually been priced at less volatility than they did at the beginning of the year. So really the upcoming referendum hasn't been viewed by the equity market as having much of an impact on options index volatility over the coming weeks, especially if we look at the fact that the FTSE 100 options are roughly in line with the Euro Stoxx 50, which kind of tells you that there isn't much of a disparity between the two. So with that in mind, we encourage you to the commentary section of our website to check out the full report. Thank you very much and have a nice week.